All right, let's dive into Litguide. This platform is designed to help Ontario teachers, just like you, prepare their students for the OSSLT.
Exactly. And you know what's really cool about Litguide?
What's that?
It's not just about delivering the content.
Hmm.
It actually gives teachers data
Oh, wow.
to help them understand their students' strengths and weaknesses,
Yeah.
in terms of literacy.
So helpful. Okay, so let's say you're a teacher
Right.
and you've got a classroom full of students with diverse needs when it comes to the OSSLT.
Yeah.
How can Litguide help you personalize your approach?
That's the question.
Well, first things first. Getting set up with the platform.
Right.
It all starts with your school admin.
Yep.
They're the ones who kind of hold the keys to the kingdom, so to speak.
They do.
Principals, vice principals, literacy leads.
Uh-huh.
They've got that school-wide access, and
Yeah.
they're the ones who initiate the whole process.
Yes, they kick things off.
So as a teacher, you're going to get an invite from your admin
Right.
once they've assigned you to a specific class.
Exactly.
Now, here's a little pro tip. Those invite links, they're only active for 50 minutes.
Well, that's good to know.
Don't let them expire. You don't want to have to chase down your admin for a new link.
Nobody wants to do that.
Nope. So once you're in, you're going to land on the teacher dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
This is like your central command center for everything Litguide.
It is.
Now, I know the dashboard has a lot going on.
Yeah.
But let's just focus on the big picture here. It basically gives you a snapshot of all your classes, all the key data, quick access to all the features you're going to be using the most.
Makes sense.
But what I find really interesting is the level of control that admins have.
Yeah.
They set up the classrooms, they assign teachers to different classes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very organized.
It is very
It's
organized.
at the school level.
I see why they do that, to manage things across the entire school.
Right, exactly.
Though, I wonder
Mm.
if giving teachers a bit more autonomy in certain areas might streamline things, maybe even save some time.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
It's just a thought.
Now, for teachers specifically, one of the things I love about the dashboard is the filters.
The filters are awesome.
You can narrow down your view by school board,
Yep.
semester, classroom. You can even look at specific course content.
So powerful.
Right. Imagine being able to zero in on, say, students who are struggling with inferential questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is exactly what those filters let you do.
So cool. It's all about, having that control, analyzing the data, and then tailoring your instruction.
It is.
But then there's also those little time-saving things like quick access buttons to just jump straight to your student list or your classroom list.
I love those. So convenient.
Yes. And speaking of students,
Yes.
no more manual entry
What?
to get them enrolled in your Litguide class.
Oh, thank goodness.
It all happens through a really unique redeem code system.
Interesting.
Each class gets a unique code, and students just use that code to self-enroll.
Simple as that.
Super easy.
I like it.
And those codes are designed to be easy to read,
Well, good.
minimize errors, no confusion.
Gotcha.
They follow a specific structure,
Right.
board acronym, school acronym, and then a classroom code.
Smart.
Okay, so now you've got your class set up, you're familiar with the dashboard.
Right.
What's next?
Well, now's when you, the teacher, really get to take charge.
Okay, I like it.
Litguide gives you the power to decide
Yes.
when specific lessons are released to your students.
What got content rollout strategy?
Exactly. You can really tailor it to your teaching style
Interesting.
or your students' needs.
I see.
So while the overview sections, those are released automatically,
Gotcha.
the individual lessons, those need your, okay,
So there's still teacher control,
very much so.
but there's a catch.
Oh,
Once a lesson is released,
yeah,
no going back.
no takebacks.
Makes you think twice about your planning, huh?
Oh, yeah, you want to make sure everything's ready to go.
It's like you're setting sail on a ship, right?
I like that analogy.
You don't want to sew off without making sure you have all your supplies.
Exactly.
Now, before you release any content,
Right.
there's this really cool feature.
Oh,
It's called Student View.
I love that name.
This is where you literally step into your student's shoes
Oh,
and experience the platform exactly as they'll see it.
that is so helpful.
Right. You can familiarize yourself with the layout, the content, the whole flow.
You get the full picture.
And you even have access to the full booklet content
Great.
before you release it to your students.
That's amazing.
It's like a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Love it.
You can explore everything in advance and fine-tune those lesson plans.
Makes sense.
Now, let's talk about how Litguide actually assesses student work.
Okay.
At the heart of it all is the rubric.
Okay, the rubric.
It uses 4 performance levels.
Gotcha.
Each level has a color code for quick assessment.
Ooh, color coding. I like it.
Remember back in the day when rubrics were just these confusing grids?
Oh, I remember those days.
This color coding is a game changer.
Definitely.
You immediately know where each student stands.
Yeah, tell me more about those levels.
So level 1,
Okay.
that's limited effectiveness. That one's indicated by red.
Right, all right.
Then we've got level 2,
Okay.
some effectiveness, that's yellow.
Yellow.
Level 3 is considerable effectiveness, that's green.
Okay, green, got it.
And finally, level 4,
Right
that's high degree of effectiveness.
Okay.
And that one's represented by blue.
So we've got the whole rainbow here.
Almost. And what's really important,
Yeah.
this rubric is aligned with the OSSLT framework.
Ah, so it connects to the actual curriculum.
And provincial standards.
So you know it's meaningful and
Yeah.
reliable.
Exactly. Now let's move on to the Students tab.
The Students tab. All right.
This is where things get really interesting
Okay, I'm intrigued.
because this tab is all about individual student data.
Okay.
You get a detailed view of each student's progress and performance.
Gotcha.
But it's not just a big data dump.
That's good.
The filters here are your best friend.
Oh, I love a good filter.
You can filter by course, content, progress, performance, even student status.
Wow, so specific.
If you want to see how your English language learners are doing on a particular type of reading comprehension question,
Right.
you can do that.
That's incredible.
It's like having this customized report card
Like it.
for your class right at your fingertips.
Wow.
And then you even get these 2 key metrics,
Okay.
overall progress and overall performance.
So helpful for getting that big picture view.
Exactly. And then if you want to get really specific
Yeah.
and zoom in on one particular student, that's where the student details page comes in.
All right, the student details data.
You can see everything. Their essay submissions, their multiple choice activity results, everything.
Everything.
And it's all very visually clear.
Oh, that's okay.
Green highlights good performance. Red signals areas where they might be struggling.
Oh, so you can see the patterns instantly.
Exactly. You can instantly see the patterns.
That is so powerful.
And those patterns are key
They are.
for understanding where to focus your attention.
Makes sense.
So let's look at the multiple choice data first.
Okay, multiple choice.
The students get up to 3 attempts per activity,
Okay.
and each attempt is time-stamped.
Interesting.
So you can actually track their progress over time.
I love that.
Did they get it right on the first try?
Ah,
Did they need all 3 attempts?
makes sense. You can see it all.
Powerful stuff.
And you can even see which specific questions they struggled with.
Oh, wow.
That's gold
It
for understanding those knowledge gaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then there's the essay submission data.
Yes.
This is where Litguide, in my opinion, really shines.
It does. It really does.
You get a paragraph-by-paragraph breakdown
Incredible.
of each essay.
That's so helpful.
And each paragraph is assessed
Mhm.
according to the OSSLT framework.
You even get specific convention codes,
Wow.
and they apply the official OSSLT writing rubric.
So it's really aligning with what they need to know for the test.
It is. It's
Yeah.
incredibly detailed feedback.
And here's the kicker.
What's that?
All of this grading is done automatically by Litguide.
No way.
Talk about a time saver.
Seriously.
Right. You're free to focus on providing personalized support
Mhm.
and guidance to your students
I love that.
instead of spending hours grading essays.
Nobody wants to spend hours grading essays.
No. And let's not forget about the flexibility.
Okay.
You have to manage student assignments.
Okay.
You can unlink students from a class, or you can switch them to another class if you need to.
Gotcha.
It's all about creating that learning environment that's
Yeah.
really tailored to each student's needs.
I love that.
Now, these tutorials that we're exploring, they're mainly focused on the teacher experience, but they do offer a glimpse into what it looks like from the student's perspective.
Oh, interesting.
And that's where that student view tab comes in.
Right. Student view.
It's a great way to familiarize yourself, with the layout, the content, the overall flow.
So helpful.
And remember, teachers have access to the full booklet content before releasing it to students.
That's amazing.
What I find so fascinating about Litguide is how comprehensive it is,
Yeah.
but also user-friendly.
It is.
It could easily be overwhelming with all this data,
It could.
but they've really thought about how to present it in a way that's digestible and actionable.
Very important.
The tutorials do a great job of walking you through everything step by step.
Yeah, like having a guide.
And even if you don't catch every single detail,
Yeah.
Litguide has a contact support option
Oh, good.
and a chatbot ready to help.
So there's always support available.
You're never really on your own?
That's reassuring.
Speaking of support,
Yes.
there's one key element we haven't explored yet.
What's that?
The Submissions tab.
Oh, the Submissions tab, yes.
This is where you can really see the big picture
Okay.
of how your students are doing on all the activities and essays within Litguide.
It all comes together.
It's like a central hub for all of their work.
Love that.
You can see trends, you can identify patterns, you can really get a sense of their strengths and weaknesses.
Powerful.
It gives you another layer of insight
Yeah.
beyond just their individual scores.
I see you're putting the puzzle pieces together.
Exactly. So it's not just about seeing how each individual student is doing. It's about understanding your class as a whole and how their learning is progressing.
Wow.
And that's what makes Litguide so powerful.
It is powerful.
It's not just about teaching to the test.
Yeah.
It's about supporting students in a way that's meaningful and impactful.
I love that.
So are you ready to dive into the Submissions tab and see what treasures we can uncover?
Let's go. I'm ready to explore.
Awesome.
Now, as you're navigating the Submissions tab,
Okay.
you're going to notice it's organized in a really intuitive way.
I hope so.
You can filter submissions by classroom, lesson, activity type.
Okay.
You can even sort them by date submitted,
Oh, wow.
student name, performance level.
So many options.
It gives you the flexibility to find the information you need quickly and easily.
That's so important.
It is.
And each submission offers a wealth of information.
Oh,
You see the student's name,
okay.
the date it was submitted, their score,
Gotcha.
but it goes deeper than that.
Oh, tell me more.
You can access detailed feedback and insights for each submission.
Amazing.
For multiple choice activities, you can see which questions they got right, which ones they missed.
Makes sense.
And for those essays, you get that amazing paragraph by paragraph breakdown
I love that breakdown.
with specific convention codes and rubric scores.
Wow, so detailed.
It's like having a virtual magnifying glass.
That's a good way to put it.
You can zoom in and see exactly where students are excelling and where they might need a little extra help.
That's key.
And speaking of help,
Yes.
the Submissions tab is also great for identifying trends and patterns.
Oh, interesting.
You know, things that can inform your teaching strategies.
Okay.
So, for example, if you're noticing that a lot of your students are struggling with a particular type of question or essay prompt,
Yeah.
you can adjust your lesson plans.
Makes sense.
Address those specific areas and provide more targeted instruction.
That's what it's all about.
It's about using the data to inform your teaching
Exactly.
and create a more effective learning environment.
And don't forget,
Yes.
Litguide is designed to be collaborative.
Oh, that's right.
You can share these insights with other teachers.
Oh, so you can work together to come up
Yeah.
with strategies and support students in a more holistic way.
It's about creating a community
I love it.
of educators all working towards the same goal.
Yes.
Student success.
That's beautiful.
It is.
It makes Litguide such a valuable resource.
It really does.
It's not just about prepping for the OSSLT.
No.
It's about empowering teachers and fostering a culture of collaboration and continuous improvement.
Now, we focused a lot on data and the assessment aspect.
Yeah.
But Litguide goes beyond that.
It does.
Oh, yeah. It also recognizes the importance
Okay.
of personalized feedback and guidance.
Oh, interesting. So it's not just about giving them a score.
No, not at all.
It's about helping them understand their strengths
Exactly.
and where they need to improve.
Exactly.
And how does it do that?
Well, it does that through its feedback system.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about the platform giving specific feedback on their multiple choice answers and essay submissions?
Right.
It goes beyond just saying right or wrong.
Okay.
It gives suggestions for improvement
Ah, I see.
and guidance on how to develop their skills.
So helpful.
For example,
Yeah.
if a student is struggling with, let's say, developing their essay topics,
Okay.
Litguide might suggest
Okay.
brainstorming more ideas
Right.
or creating a detailed outline.
I see.
And, you know, if they're making a lot of grammar errors,
Oh, yeah. Common issue.
it happens. It
Right.
happens.
Right.
Litguide might suggest reviewing specific grammar rules
Uh-huh.
or practicing different sentence structures.
That's great. So it gives concrete suggestions.
It does.
So it's kind of like having a personal tutor
It is.
who can pinpoint exactly what the student needs to work on.
And the best part is
What's that?
the feedback is encouraging, not discouraging.
Right. Because we don't want to make them feel bad.
Exactly.
It's about helping them learn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Litguide so powerful.
Right.
It's not just about teaching to the test.
Mm-hmm.
It's about fostering a growth mindset.
Empowering students
Yeah.
to become confident and capable learners.
That's the goal.
We've talked a lot about the features and benefits of Litguide,
We have.
but let's not forget about the human element here.
Well, that's important.
Technology can be incredibly powerful,
It can.
but it's only as effective as the people using it.
So true.
So it's crucial for teachers to embrace Litguide as a collaborative tool
I like that.
to share their insights, work together to develop strategies, and support students in a personalized and meaningful way.
That's the
Because ultimately, the success of a platform like Litguide depends on the dedication and expertise of the educators who are using it.
It's a team effort.
It is.
You know, what we've learned today is just the tip of the iceberg.
It feels like it, right?
Litguide has so much to offer.
It does.
And it's exciting to see how teachers will use it to transform their classrooms and empower their students.
I'm excited too. Now, we've covered a lot of ground, from the submissions tab to the importance of personalized feedback.
It's been a journey.
But what I find so fascinating is how Litguide goes beyond just data and assessment.
Okay.
And really focuses on nurturing those essential skills that students need to thrive.
It's not just about the test.
It's not. It's about so much more.
Exactly.
And one of the tools that I think is particularly powerful in that regard is being able to see those multiple choice results in such detail.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about the multiple attempts.
Exactly.
With the timestamps.
Yes.
Remember, students get up to 3 attempts for each activity.
Right.
And the submissions tab lets you see each of those attempts.
I love that.
Complete with timestamps.
It's like you're watching them learn in real time.
It is.
You can track their progress over time. You see if they needed 1 attempt, 2 attempts, or all 3 to get it right.
Exactly.
You're literally watching the evolution of their understanding.
And you can see which answer choices they selected for each attempt.
That's so cool.
It is.
Because it helps you understand their thought process.
Exactly.
Are they consistently choosing the same wrong answer, which might indicate a misunderstanding of the concept?
Right. Or are they making those careless mistakes that we all do from time to time?
It gives you those clues about where they're going astray.
It does. It does.
It's like being a detective.
I love that.
Piecing together the clues to understand how they're approaching the material.
And once you understand that, you can provide much more targeted support.
That's the goal, right?
It is. You can tailor your instruction to address those specific areas where they need the most help.
And speaking of tailoring instruction.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that essay feedback.
The essay feedback.
Litguide really excels there.
Oh, it does.
It's not just a generic score.
No.
It's this breakdown that really helps you understand where the student needs to improve.
Exactly.
And we already talked about that paragraph by paragraph analysis.
We did.
But it's worth emphasizing how valuable that is.
It is so valuable.
Because it allows you to see the student's writing through the lens of the OSSLT framework.
Exactly.
And those convention codes and rubric scores.
Right.
They provide a clear roadmap for improvement.
It's like having a built-in writing coach.
Yeah.
Available 24/7.
Seriously.
It is.
And let's not forget that the feedback is delivered in a really constructive and encouraging way.
So important.
It's not about pointing fingers or making them feel bad. It's about guiding them towards mastery.
And that's what makes Litguide a game changer.
I agree.
It's not just about prepping for a test. It's about helping students develop those essential skills that they'll carry with them throughout their lives.
So true. It's about empowering them to become effective communicators, critical thinkers, lifelong learners.
It's about preparing them for success in a world that demands more than just memorization and test taking.
It's about that deeper understanding and critical thinking.
And Litguide gives you the tools to do that.
It does. It really does.
It's an incredible platform.
It is.
And I'm excited to see how educators continue to use it to transform their classrooms and empower their students.
That's what it's all about.
It is. Now, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive into Litguide, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. We've explored all these amazing features. We've seen how it supports student learning. And we talked about the importance of collaboration and human connection.
So important.
So the question is...
What is the question?
What are you going to do with this knowledge?
Ooh, good question.
How are you going to use Litguide
Right.
to empower yourself as an educator and create a more engaging learning environment for your students.
Such important questions to consider.
They are.
So go ahead, explore the platform.
Yes.
Experiment with those features.
Right.
And most importantly, share your insights with your colleagues.
Because together,
yes,
we can make a real difference
Absolutely.
in the lives of our students.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Litguide.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and are feeling inspired to explore all that this platform has to offer.
So much to explore.
Until next time, happy teaching, everyone.
Happy teaching. Okay, so we're going to break down these performance levels.
Sounds good.
Then we'll start with level 1, limited effectiveness.
The one with the red color coding.
Exactly. Now, at this level, students might have trouble, let's say, identifying the main ideas or supporting their answers with details.
Right, those relevant details.
Right, exactly. Their work might be incomplete or maybe even a little off topic.
I see.
They really need a lot of guidance at this level.
And what about their writing?
Good point.
Would you say it's probably disorganized?
Often, yes.
Full of errors that make it hard to follow.
Exactly. It can be quite a challenge.
Okay, so then we move up to level 2.
Level 2. All right.
Some effectiveness.
That's our yellow level.
Yellow, okay.
Here, students are starting to show,
Okay.
A basic grasp of the concepts.
Gotcha.
But they still might miss those key details.
Right.
Or struggle to make connections.
I can see how that would show up in their writing as well.
Definitely.
Like they might try to make inferences, but maybe those inferences aren't clearly explained.
Right. Or supported.
Or their organization might be getting better.
Yeah.
But there are still some,
clarity issues.
Clarity issues, those grammar errors.
Those pesky grammar errors.
Right, still holding them back a bit.
Exactly. And then we jump up to level 3.
Level 3, Eric.
Considerable effectiveness.
The green level.
Green, yes. This is where students really start to hit their stride.
You're getting it.
They're getting it. They can identify those main ideas.
Okay.
They can provide those relevant details. And they're making inferences that are clear.
Right.
And well supported.
So their writing's becoming more organized.
It is.
And those errors they're making, they're not getting in the way of understanding their ideas.
Exactly. Would you say at this level they're generally meeting expectations?
I'd say so.
But there's always room for growth.
Always room to grow, absolutely. Which brings us to...
Level
4.
Level 4, yes.
High degree of effectiveness.
Our blue level superstars.
The top of the class.
Exactly. These are the students who are going above and beyond.
I love it.
They're demonstrating a deeper understanding.
Okay.
They're making those insightful inferences and connecting ideas in really effective ways.
And their writing, I imagine, it's...
Oh, it's beautiful.
Clear, coherent, well-organized, very few errors.
If any.
Right. They're exceeding expectations at this point.
They are. They really are. And it's important to remember, this whole rubric isn't just some random system.
Right.
It's grounded in the OSSLT curriculum framework.
That makes sense.
Which is reassuring.
Oh, for sure. It gives you confidence as a teacher.
Absolutely.
That you're assessing students accurately and fairly.
I like that. Now, we've been talking a lot about the rubric.
We have.
And those performance levels.
Yeah.
But let's go back to those multiple choice activities for a second.
Okay, back to multiple choice.
One of the things that really struck me was the ability to see not just the students' answers, but the timestamps for each attempt.
So
it's like you're tracking their progress over time.
You're watching them.
Exactly. You can see, did they get it on the first try? Did they need all 3? You see it all right there.
And you can even see which specific questions they had trouble with.
Oh, that's gold.
I know. So helpful for planning your instruction.
Right. You can identify those patterns and target your teaching to address those areas.
Right. The areas where students need the most support.
Exactly. Now, let's shift gears a little and talk about those essay submissions.
All right. Essay submissions. Let's do it.
We already touched on how Litguide grades those essays automatically.
We did.
But let's dive a little deeper into what that feedback actually looks like.
I'm intrigued.
It's not just a simple score.
No.
No. You get a paragraph-by-paragraph breakdown.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is. And each paragraph is assessed according to that OSSLT framework.
We keep coming back to that. So important.
It is the foundation.
Right.
You even see the specific convention codes. And it uses that official OSSLT writing rubric.
Okay, so we know the feedbacks really align with what's expected on the test.
Exactly. It's like having a personal writing coach for each student.
That's a great way to think about it.
Highlighting their strengths.
Yeah.
Pinpointing areas for improvement.
Well, then it's all automatic.
All automatic.
That frees you up to focus on
the good stuff,
yeah.
the teaching.
The good stuff, exactly. Now, while Litguide offers all of this support, it recognizes that sometimes things change.
Of course, things are always changing.
Right. Students might need to switch classes.
Yep.
Maybe they need to be unlinked from a class.
Happens all the time.
And Litguide handles this really seamlessly.
Okay.
You can unlink a student and their progress and all of their data is still there.
No loss of information?
No loss of information. And any other teacher can link that student back into their class if they need to.
So flexible.
So flexible. Now, we've mostly been looking at the teacher side of things.
Right, the teacher experience.
But we did touch on that student view tab earlier.
We did.
Where teachers can experience the platform as their students see it.
So valuable. It helps you familiarize yourself with the layout.
Right.
The content, the whole flow.
And don't forget, teachers have access to the full booklet content.
Before the students even see it.
Before they release it.
I love that feature.
It's great. You know what I find so fascinating?
What's that?
Is how Litguide manages to be so comprehensive, yet so user-friendly.
It's a tricky balance.
It is. With all this data, it could easily feel overwhelming.
Oh, for sure.
But they've done a great job of presenting it in a way that's clear and easy to understand. Digestible.
And actionable, you know?
Actionable, exactly. And the tutorials do a great job.
They do.
Of walking you through everything step by step.
It's like having a personal guide.
Right there with you.
Exactly. And even if you don't catch every single detail, remember, Litguide has that contact support option.
Right.
And a chatbot ready to help.
So there's always support available. Always.
Very alone.
You're never on your own.
Never alone.
Speaking of support, there's one more key element we haven't really explored.
Okay, I'm ready.
The submissions tab.
The submissions tab. Tell me more.
This is where you can really see the big picture of how your students are doing on all the activities and essays within Litguide.
It all comes together there.
It does. It's like a central hub for all of their work.
I love that. You can see trends.
Yes.
You can identify patterns.
You get a sense of their strengths and weaknesses.
It's powerful stuff.
It is. It gives you another layer of insight beyond just looking at their individual scores.
So you're putting those puzzle pieces together.
Exactly. So it's not just about seeing how each individual student is doing.
Right.
It's about understanding your class as a whole and how their learning is progressing.
And that's what makes Litguide so powerful, right?
It is.
It's not just about teaching to the test.
No.
It's about supporting students in a way that's meaningful and impactful.
I love that.
So, are you ready to dive into this submissions tab?
I am.
And see what treasures we can uncover?
Let's go exploring.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, as you're navigating the submissions tab, you'll notice that it's organized in a really intuitive way.
I hope so.
You can filter submissions by classroom, lesson, activity type. You can even sort them by date submitted, student name, performance level.
Lots of options.
Lots of options. It's all about giving you that flexibility to find the information you need.
So important.
Quickly and easily.
And each submission offers a wealth of information.
Oh, tell me more.
You see the student's name, the date it was submitted, their score.
Okay.
But it goes deeper than that.
Oh.
You can access detailed feedback.
Amazing.
And insights for each submission.
Wow. So for multiple choice activities.
Exactly.
You can see which ones they got right. Which ones they missed.
Makes sense. And for those essays.
For the essays.
You get that fantastic paragraph by paragraph breakdown.
It's so helpful.
With those specific convention codes and rubric scores.
So detailed.
It's like having a virtual magnifying glass.
I love that analogy.
Right. You can zoom in and see exactly where they're excelling and where they might need a little extra help.
And that's key.
And speaking of help,
the
submissions tab is also great for identifying trends and patterns.
Oh, interesting.
Things that can inform your teaching strategies.
Okay. So for example, if you notice that a lot of your students are struggling with a particular type of question or essay prompt, you can adjust your lesson plans accordingly.
Right. Address those specific areas,
exactly.
But provide more targeted instruction.
That's what it's all about.
It's about using the data to inform your teaching.
Exactly.
And to create a more effective learning environment.
And don't forget,
yes,
Litguide is designed to be collaborative.
Oh, that's right.
You can share these insights with other teachers.
Work together.
Work together.
Develop strategies and support students in a more holistic way.
It's about creating a community.
Yes.
Of educators all working towards the same goal.
Student success.
Student success. That's what makes Litguide such a valuable resource.
It really is.
It's more than just a platform for prepping for the OSSLT.
It's about so much more.
It's about empowering teachers.
Yes.
And fostering that culture of collaboration and continuous improvement.
I love that.
Now, we've been focusing a lot on the data.
We have.
And the assessment aspect of things. But Litguide goes beyond that.
It does.
Oh, yes. It recognizes the importance of personalized feedback and guidance.
Interesting. So it's not just about giving a student a score.
No, not at all.
It's about helping them understand their strengths and where they need to improve.
It's about helping them grow.
And how does it do that?
Well, through its feedback system, remember?
Right.
We talked about how the platform gives specific feedback on those multiple choice answers and essay submissions.
Yeah.
But it goes further than just saying right or wrong.
Okay.
It actually provides suggestions for improvement.
Oh, so helpful.
And guidance on how to develop those skills.
So, for example?
For example, if a student's struggling with developing their essay topics, Litguide might suggest brainstorming more ideas or creating a detailed outline.
So it gives them concrete steps to take.
Exactly. Or let's say they're making a lot of grammar errors.
Oh, yeah, that's a common one.
It happens. Litguide might suggest reviewing certain grammar rules.
Right.
Or practicing different sentence structures.
So it's like having a personal tutor.
It is.
Who can pinpoint exactly what they need to work on.
And the feedback is delivered in a way that's encouraging.
Right. We don't want to make them feel bad.
Exactly. It's about helping them learn and grow.
And that's what makes Litguide so powerful.
It really is.
It's not just about teaching to the test. It's about fostering a growth mindset.
Empowering students.
Yes. Empowering them to become confident and capable learners.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about the features and benefits of Litguide.
We have.
But let's not forget about that human element.
Oh, that's so important.
It is. Technology can be incredibly powerful.
It can.
But it's only as effective as the people using it.
So true.
So it's crucial for teachers to embrace Litguide as a collaborative tool.
Yeah.
To share their insights, work together to develop strategies, and support students in a personalized and meaningful way.
Because ultimately, the success of a platform like Litguide depends on the dedication and expertise of the educators who are using it.
It's a team effort.
It really is.
You know, what we've talked about today is really just the tip of the iceberg.
It feels like it. There's so much to explore.
There is. Litguide has so much to offer.
It does, and I'm excited to see how educators use it.
Me too.
To transform their classrooms and empower their students.
That's what it's all about.
It is. Now, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the submissions tab to the importance of personalized feedback.
It's been quite a journey.
But what I find so fascinating
What's that?
Is how Litguide goes beyond just the data and assessment.
Okay.
And really focuses on nurturing those essential skills.
Right, those essential skills.
But students need to thrive.
It's not just about the test.
It's not. It's about so much more.
It's about equipping them for the future.
Exactly. And one of the tools I think is particularly powerful is being able to see those multiple choice results in such detail.
Oh, absolutely. You're talking about those multiple attempts.
Yes. With the timestamps.
With the timestamps. Remember, students get up to 3 attempts for each activity.
Right.
And on the submissions tab, you can see each of those attempts.
I love that.
Complete with those timestamps.
So it's like you're watching them learn in real time.
You are. You're tracking their progress over time.
You see if they needed 1 attempt, 2, or all 3 to get it right.
Exactly. It's fascinating to see that evolution of their understanding.
And you can see which answer choices they selected.
Yes.
Yeah.
For each attempt.
That's so insightful.
It is. Because it helps you understand their thought process.
Right. Are they consistently choosing the same wrong answer? Maybe there's misconception there.
Right. Or are they just making those careless mistakes?
Yes. We all do it.
We all do. It gives you clues about where they're going astray.
Like you're a detective.
I love that. A detective of learning.
Right. Piecing together the clues to understand how they're approaching the material.
And once you have that understanding, you can provide much more targeted support.
That's what we want.
Tailor your instruction to address those specific areas where they need the most help.
And speaking of tailoring instruction,
Oh, yeah?
let's talk about essay feedback again.
Essay feedback. All right.
Litguide really shines in this area.
It does. The level of detail is just phenomenal.
It's amazing. It's not just a generic score. It's a breakdown that pinpoints exactly where the student needs to improve.
Exactly.
We talked about the paragraph-by-paragraph analysis.
We did.
But it's worth emphasizing again just how valuable that is.
Oh, it's so valuable.
Because it allows you to see the student's writing through the lens of that OSSLT framework.
Right, which is essential for helping them succeed on the test.
Exactly. And those convention codes and the rubric scores.
Yes. Yeah. They provide such a clear roadmap for improvement.
Like a built-in writing coach.
Available 24/7.
And don't forget, the feedback is delivered in a constructive and encouraging way.
So important. We don't want to discourage them.
No, we want to guide them toward mastery.
Exactly. And that's what makes Litguide a game changer.
I agree.
It's not just about prepping for a test. It's about helping students develop those essential skills.
Yes, those skills.
That will serve them well throughout their lives.
It's about empowering them to become.
Empowering them to become.
Effective communicators, critical thinkers, lifelong learners.
Exactly. Preparing them for success in a world that demands more than just memorization and test taking.
Deeper understanding, critical thinking.
Yes. And Litguide provides the tools to make that happen.
It does. It's an incredible platform.
It is.
And I'm excited to see how educators continue to use it.
Me too.
To transform their classrooms and empower their students.
That's what it's all about. It really does feel like we've been given this amazing toolkit, you know?
Yeah, it does.
And now it's up to us as educators.
Right.
To figure out how to use it to its full potential.
All the possibilities.
And one of the tools that I find particularly powerful is the ability to really dig deep into those multiple choice results.
You're talking about seeing each of the students' attempts, like with the timestamps and everything,
yes.
Right?
Remember we talked about how students have those 3 attempts for each activity?
I do?
Well, on that submissions tab, you can see each of those attempts time-stamped and everything.
That's so cool.
It is. So it's not just a matter of did they get it right or wrong.
Right.
You can actually see how their understanding develops over those attempts.
You can see their thinking evolve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did they get it on the first try? Or did it take a couple of goes for it to click?
Right.
You can see that evolution of their thinking.
And you can see which answer they picked each time too, right?
Yes. That's so helpful, I think.
It is, because it gives you insight into their thought process.
Exactly.
Like, are they consistently picking the same wrong answer?
Right. Which might point to a misconception.
Exactly. Or are they making those careless mistakes that we all make sometimes?
We all do it.
It just gives you more clues about where they're going astray.
It does.
It's like you become an academic detective.
Oh, I love that.
Right, piecing together those clues to understand how they're approaching the material.
And once you've done that detective work, you can provide that much more targeted support.
That's the goal.
Right. Instead of just saying, hey, go review this topic, you can really zero in on those specific areas where they're tripping up.
I like that.
Speaking of targeted support,
yeah,
let's circle back to that essay feedback for a minute.
Okay, the essay feedback.
Litguide really knocks it out of the park in this area.
They do. The level of detail is incredible.
It's not just a number or a letter grade.
Right.
It's a personalized breakdown that pinpoints exactly where they need to improve.
And we already talked about the paragraph-by-paragraph analysis.
We did.
But it's worth highlighting again how valuable that is.
Oh, that's so valuable.
Because it lets you, as the teacher, see the student's writing through that same lens as the OSSLT framework.
Exactly.
Which is essential for helping them do well on the test.
Yes. And those convention codes and rubric scores, they provide a really clear roadmap.
I was going to say a roadmap for improvement.
It's like a built-in writing coach available 24/7 for each of your students.
It really is. And don't forget, that feedback is delivered in a way that encourages growth.
Right, not in a way that makes students feel bad about their mistakes.
Exactly. It's about guiding them towards mastery, not just pointing out what they did wrong.
And that approach really fosters that growth mindset that we've been talking about.
It does.
It empowers them to become more confident writers who aren't afraid to take risks and to learn from those mistakes.
That's what we want.
And that's what makes Litguide such a game changer.
I agree.
It's not just about teaching to the test.
It's not.
It's about equipping students with the skills that will help them throughout their lives.
So true. It's about helping them become those effective communicators.
Exactly.
The critical thinkers, the passionate lifelong learners.
No matter what path they choose.
Exactly. And it's doing it in a way that is engaging, accessible, and honestly just really impressive to see in action.
I completely agree.
Litguide is such a fantastic example of how technology can be used to create a more effective and engaging learning environment.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, to all of you educators out there who are taking the plunge with Litguide, I say embrace it.
Dive in.
Dive in. Explore those features.
Experiment.
Experiment. And don't be afraid to share what you learned.
Share those insights.
With your colleagues.
Absolutely, because ultimately we're all in this together.
We are.
And by working together and sharing what we know, we can make a real difference for our students.
So well said.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Litguide.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you've learned a few things and are feeling inspired to explore everything this platform has to offer.
So much to explore.
Until next time, happy teaching, everyone.
Happy teaching.